Hello, friends and beautiful people. It is Kathryn Massell, Conscious Creatrix, 5D Visionary, and Elevated Consciousness Coach. Today, I want to share with you a really quick video on how to entrain your energy to be in the fullness of life. So those of you who don't know about the law of entrainment, I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. So if you like content like this and you want to know more about all things spiritual and human awakening and ascension, you want to hit the little click to subscribe icon at the bottom right of this video and make sure that you get to see the already hundreds of videos that I have here on my YouTube channel. That will require you to go back in time a little bit to look at some of this stuff. But when you hit the subscribe button, you will see when I have a new video uploaded, which is usually a couple times a week. So, my fellow frequency holders of the new earth, let's get into it, okay? So, I invite you for a moment to think of yourself, your soul self, okay, as who you truly are. Without any of the distortions in your energetic field of where you are filtering the perception of who you are through the ego. So when you think of your soul self, and that is the purest form of who you are, that is the you that is without any of the distortions of your energetic field because of your experience of having an ego. So this soul self who is experiencing this incarnation of life right now that you're in is really just one expression of the many soul selves that have come to Earth before and other planets or timelines or stellar perspectives before to participate in the fullness of life. No matter what incarnation you are in, the soul self never intends to have a semi-articulated or a semi-full experience of life. No matter what incarnation that soul self decides to inhabit, it's never the idea that the soul self just has like sort of an experience of being alive. It wants to be in the fullness of life. You want to be in the fullness of life. So the lower thought and belief forms and lower emotions, which are the distortions in your field as a result of having an ego, they keep you from experiencing the fullness of life that you were meant to experience. That the fullness of life that you were meant to have be a part of your experience here on planet Earth. And the thing is about, and the paradox about having these distortions, these lower thought forms, these belief forms, these lower emotions, they really are meant to be part of your experience here on planet Earth. The soul self knows that these distortions were meant to be part of the learning experience of contrast here on planet Earth, because everything about our emotional experience and the vast spectrum of our emotional experience that goes from very low vibration to very high vibration, that's all meant to be here as part of the great playing field of being in the game of 3D illusion here on planet Earth. The soul self knows this. The soul self knows that these distortions are part of the planet Earth experience. But it's meant to be here to help us learn about ourselves through contrast, so that you could see how to make increasingly better choices that serve your highest and best good. You were never meant, however, to stay in the distortion. You were meant to keep moving through and past the contrast so you could keep redefining the nature of your experience, and in that process gather momentum in creating a better story of who you are. And believe me, who you are, who you think you are here in this planetary realm of 3D consciousness is a story. It's a story that you've created and also bought and sold to yourself over time. But through this experience, this learning experience of contrast, we have the option as free will beings to keep recreating, redesigning, redefining this story, rewriting the template of the story of who we are. That's what's really special about the experience of being on planet Earth that really doesn't exist anywhere else. So it's a fun game, even though sometimes it doesn't feel so fun. So you were meant to keep moving through and past the contrast. You weren't supposed to ever stay in this distorted field of your awareness. The idea was for you to keep redefining the nature of your experience and to gather momentum in creating a better story of who you are in order to resonate with the fullness of life. Okay, so we keep going up this spectrum of experience, hopefully recreating, redesigning, and rewriting a story that just keeps getting better and better and better. And that's the ideal, highest expression of this experience. Okay. But so many of us are staying in a projection, a story, an illusion state of these distortions, and living out our lives from the extremely limited vantage point of the distorted field of perception. And recalibrating your energy then is where all the magic really happens. Recalibration of your energy means working tangibly with these distortions, okay? Working in a very awake and aware level with these distortions, okay? Meaning we're not in a place of avoidance, okay? We're not just opting for higher frequency ways of being because that's where it's at. We're here to look at our stuff. We're here to self-examine. We're here to self-explore. We are here to self-discover. So that means we can't opt into the energy of avoidance because avoidance is a very, very low vibration. So recalibration is simply working with the distortions, the lower belief forms, the lower thought forms that keep you from seeing your own divine nature. Tone and working with vibration really helps you to understand how you can bring this lower resonance that resonates throughout your whole body chamber. The whole vessel of your physical being resonates with a lower tone when you are staying in the distortion, when you are allowing the interference, the static, if you will, of lower vibrations of thought forms, belief forms, lower emotions to give you your scope of perspective. This is at direct odds with your divine nature, so it creates static, it creates interference, it creates distortion. So when you work with tone, it really helps you discover where you are vibrating, okay? And if you're never aware of where you're vibrating, it's just kind of like walking blindly through life. You are not in control of your inner destiny because you're not paying attention to the vibration that you're holding, okay? This is crucial in order for you to pivot into 5D awareness. So once you know where you're vibrating, you can make decisions, you can make choices, you can recalibrate and shift your frequencies much faster to direct any and all of your creations here in 3D, okay? So through using the law of entrainment, you can take the lower tones, the vibrations of these distortions that are in your body chamber, that are resonating in your body chamber maybe right now as I speak, by holding lower thought forms, lower beliefs, lower emotions. And you can synchronize them with an intention of, let's just say, health, of wealth and vitality. So if you're holding that intention of whatever your highest ideal is, better health, more financial wealth, stability, financial independence, let's just say, vitality, right? Having a spring in your step, some joy in your everyday life, being able to be in a place where you derive joy in your everyday life. Let's just say any or all of those things are what you equate with your highest ideal and expression of human experience here in this lifetime, okay? So give these new instructions then to your cells. Better health, more financial independence, greater vitality. Through giving these new instructions to your cells, what you're basically doing is amplifying the entire body to resonate at a higher frequency. Now again, I'm not talking about avoidance. You still want to be awake and aware enough to know that you're holding on to lower vibrations. So that means that you have to be able to check in with, where am I vibrating at the moment? So right now, right, there couldn't be a better time than right now to check in with yourself. What's the vibration or the tone? Do you feel like, and we all have the ability to do this, by the way. You don't need to be, clairaudient or clairvoyant or claircognizant, even though, if you ask me, we all have that level of being able to step into those gifts. We're all intuitive. Every single person on this planet is intuitive, okay? Some of us have just developed more of a practice with it than others, but we are all intuitive. By the fact that we are divine nature at our core, we are intuitive, okay? So all you have to do is just turn your focus inward. Sit with whatever is going on with you at the moment. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? i.e., where are you vibrating? What does this feel like in your body chamber? Does it feel like, I'm not really in the fullness of life? Does it feel like you're vibrating at a lower frequency? Maybe you can feel a dense or heavy energy in your body. Maybe you feel lethargic. Maybe you feel heavy. That's a good indication that you are holding a lower tone or a lower frequency in your body chamber. And what this is doing, it's telling your cells basically, I'm not in the fullness of life. I'm not really fully alive. I'm only having this semi-articulated experience of life. Or when you check in and turn your focus inward, do you feel like, okay, maybe I'm in a medium-high vibration. Maybe I'm feeling optimistic about the future. Maybe I'm holding some sort of level of faith about what I believe can be true for me or possible for me going forward. Maybe you are in the middle of creating something in your life where you're starting to see these possibilities of something greater for yourself unfold. So maybe you're resonating at that frequency. That means you're telling your cells something different. There is more for me, and I'm actively becoming it. I'm actively engaging with my own destiny and creating it. Okay? And maybe some of you who are in the fullness of life, maybe you're having a wonderful day. Maybe you've had several moments of joy throughout your day. What this is telling, this tone, this frequency is telling your cells right now at the moment, I am fully alive. I am in the fullness of life. I am the fullness of life, okay? This is the frequency, my friends, of the soul self. Without any interference at all in your energy field from an ego filter of perception. This is where you move beyond the mind. This is where you move beyond the body. This is where you move beyond and transcend the ego. This is where all potentials of experience are possible because you entrain or synchronize the vibration of the lower ego illusion of self into the frequency of the soul self. You remove the illusion of separation, which brings you then home into full alignment with pure source consciousness. Now, this is an incredibly fun thing to play with recalibrating your energy. This is just one of the 8 tools that I teach. I teach about the law of entrainment and a couple other universal laws that you work with very tangibly to work with these 8 tools of consciousness mechanics. That's in my upcoming book and course. The information is going to be in this post, in the description of this video, so you can learn more about consciousness mechanics. But these tools, these technologies of being able to anchor more of our 5D post-ascension shift blueprint of who we are, meaning the highest ideal, the highest expression of who we are, we can bring this into our 3D reality now. And these tools create this bridge in our consciousness where we can access this elevated level of being. Not only is this incredibly fun to teach and talk about, but the upcoming book talks more about all things ascension and spiritual awakening and human awakening. But the real magic is in the live program that goes along with this companion book, and it starts on September 19th, 2019 at 10 a.m. Pacific time. All the info is going to be in the description here. I want to know what happens for you. You can go ahead and comment in here when you play with these energies. How do you feel? Are you aware of the resonance that you're holding? And how, that's making you kind of, when you know that you are in, let's just say, a lower vibration, does that instinctively make you want to move up in elevation to the next higher available vibration? And that's only and ever on you to be able to do that. Noticing where you're vibrating and choosing the next highest level vibration, the next highest level feeling. That's all on you, my love. That is all on you to be able to create a new emotional destiny, an imprint for yourself, a new story for yourself, based on where you want to resonate. What frequency do you want to be in? That means that it's required of you to take a look at where you're at. Why are you feeling these things? Why are you thinking these things? Why do you think you continue on a loop of thinking these things, feeling these things over and over? What have you cleared? What lessons from these emotions and these thoughts have you not downloaded into your experience yet so you can access your post-ascension shift blueprint? So I want to wish you all, as always, so much love and peace. Bye-bye.